Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Yeah. Oh.
Albert Hodge, I just wanted to say it's 11 o'clock. Welcome to everybody who's online. We're so glad you're here. We have a celebration song that the music team's going to lead. Happy holidays. I'm so glad to celebrate this with you, and we'll have more to say later. Take it away, band.
So, in true holiday fashion, we have to honor Old St. Nick. I mean, it's all about the presents, right? Presence.
1, 2, 3,
You better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town, Santa Claus is coming to town, Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list, he's checking it twice, he's gonna find out who's naughty and nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows when you've been bad or good. So be good for goodness sake. Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Hey. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Let's hear it for our band. Oh, so I invite you to take a seat, to get comfortable, and let the seat, the chair hold you. We're going to switch gears from Santa Claus is coming to town and that rockin' music to go into an inward place of understanding. So this tune that is going to lead us into this opening prayer is a traditional, new but traditional Christian song. And while we come out of Christian roots and understand the metaphysical meaning of the Christ presence here on the planet, which we'll talk more about later, we also know that in every moment, the truth is unfolding in us, and that the one that we have been waiting for is right here in our hearts and minds. So I invite you to hear this song and to take this into your prayer for today in a new way, in a way that fully encompasses the infinite possibilities of this now moment. Take a deep breath and feel the presence of the divine in you, through you, and as you. To take a breath in this moment and celebrate the wholeness, the divinity, and the presence that we call the Christ.
Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day walk on water? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would save our sons and daughters? Did you know that your baby boy has come to make you new? This child that you deliver will soon deliver you. Mary, did you know that your baby boy will give sight to a blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would calm the storm with his hand? Did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels trod? When you kiss your little baby, you kiss the face of God. The deaf will hear, the dead will live again. The lame will leap, the dumb will speak, the praises of the Lamb. I already know that my baby will be one with all creation. Oh yes, I know that my baby will one day heal the nations. Yes, I know what I hold inside is the fruit of divine plan. The sleeping child within me is a great
the great I am. We take this moment to move into that, knowing that I am that I am, that in this moment I am opening, I am birthing the Christ consciousness right here on earth, the Christ consciousness that moves, shifts, and has its being in me, right here and now. I know that the things that seem impossible can shift and move as I open my heart, as I open my divine presence to the wholeness that is, to the love that is, to the infinite possibility of this moment. No matter what the outside circumstance, no matter what the turmoil and strife of the world, there is a light that shines for each and every one of us. There is a light that opens us to the infinite possibilities of more. There is a knowing and a wisdom born in each and every one of us. So today we celebrate the wholeness, the truth, the power, the infinite presence that is this day, that is the Savior within us. For our consciousness is opening to the truth that we are the power we are seeking, that we are the presence we need, and we are the love that heals all wounds. So right here and now, we celebrate this truth. We celebrate this day. And we celebrate the infinite possibility by saying, I am so blessed. I am so grateful. And so it is. Amen. Amen. Ashe. So there's a couple more people coming in that we're going to let them come in. If you have a seat next to you, please raise your hand so people can come in and get seats next to you. There's some up front here, guys, and right up here in the front row, and over on the sides. And welcome. Welcome, everybody. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Bodhi Day. There's so many holidays that celebrate. And I just want to let everybody know, if I haven't met you yet, my name is Reverend Ken Daigle, and I am the senior minister here. And I am backed by an incredible team of spiritual workers, of office workers who do their work spiritually, an incredible music team and band and AV team that has really carried the ball to this week, because on Tuesday, I got a call from my sister that my mother had taken a fall out of her bed at the care home she lives in, and taken to the hospital, where we found out she's in kidney failure, and Mom is passing away as we speak. I got on a plane. I called this wonderful man next to me and got on a plane and was there within 8 hours and got to hug her and kiss her. And that night and the next day, she's gone pretty much unconscious as she goes through her process of letting go of this body. And I have had the privilege of, with my siblings, to be with her. Here at this holiday season, it actually has more power and resonance for me. It has more meaning. We play Christmas carols. She can't speak, but she can sing. It's amazing. She remembers all the lyrics to all the holiday songs, but she doesn't remember our names or who we are or words to say. But lyrics live in a different part of our brain, and music, as we know, transports us. So the gift for me of this holiday season is the love. I got to hug my mother before I left last night to tell her that I so appreciate everything she's given me, including this physical body. It came from that physical body to this one. And I told her whenever she's ready to release it, I would be there with her. So if she wants to release it right now, today, during this service, I'm with her. And I know I'm not the only one who's gone through this. So however you are dealing with this with your family, your loved ones, your friends, this is the gift of this holiday season. The love transcends all of it, all time and space, all seeming knowing, and all infinite wisdom.
Right, exactly. I'm so grateful to be serving alongside you, Reverend Ken. You've given such a great mantle to kind of step into and make sure that we carry things out excellently for this service. So we wanted to make sure that everything was taken care of. You know, as you're speaking, I'm reminded of the truth that we are both fully human and fully divine. And paradoxically, even when our physical bodies may be transitioning, that doesn't mean that we're not human still.
Yes, absolutely. We feel our human emotions in the middle of that. For those of you who are new to Unity and what Unity teaches and stands for, in the scripture it says that Jesus was both fully human and fully divine. And we believe that so much that we believe that it not only applies to Jesus, the man who walked in Palestine 2,000 years ago, but to each and every one of us, that scripture is a spiritual truth, that we are spiritual beings having this human experience. Right,
exactly. And so that makes space for no matter where we are in our lives, whether we're, mourning the death of a loved one or different endings throughout this year, but we're celebrating new beginnings. And wherever anybody's at in their journey, we hold space for that at Unity San Francisco. And so one of the sayings that we have held so dearly, and I think we started saying it this year, was being unapologetically inclusive. And so that's what it means. We hold space for all of that. Yeah. And, all of the things that are going on in this world are just so innumerable to count. But what we can count on is our ability to be us and to live out our divinity in a day-to-day perspective.
I have a question for everybody here. Does everybody get sad around Christmas? Right? There's some upswelling of grief that comes with the holiday too. And sadness and grief are spiritual feelings. They're spiritual practices. Grieving for people is part of our spiritual nature, and it is not something that we need ever apologize for, but things that we can embrace and live into.
Yes,
right?
Thank you for that reminder. And so, getting to make space for that and establish that. We have an affirmation here, and it just speaks to the power that we have to change the world, because when we change ourselves, we can change those around us, and then they change the world around them until eventually it's a ripple effect. And so to anchor this truth, we have an affirmation. It goes like this: I commit to creating a world of safety, equity, and equality. Let's know this together.
I commit to creating a world of safety, equity, and equality. And so it is.
So it is. Thank you. Well, hello, everybody. My name is David Montecalvo, if you have not met me yet, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer here at Unity San Francisco. This, ability to stay anchored to our truth and our awareness of our divinity, we have a number of ways in which we can be reminded of it, because it's easy to forget sometimes. And so we believe strongly in the power of meditation. And meditation is at the root of who we are as a spiritual center, and it's the reminder that we are good, that we are divine. And so we have a number of opportunities in which you can stay engaged with your meditation. On Sunday mornings here in the sanctuary and online through Zoom, we have a Sunday morning sound meditation. It's led by Reverend Elizabeth, and it is a beautiful way to, surrender to the power of sound and stay centered to who we are and remind us of our spiritual entities. Or beings. And then on Monday through Friday on Zoom, we have a midday meditation. Again, this is a way in which you can stay engaged no matter what's going on in the week. You can stay tuned to your higher self. And then at any given time of the day, sometimes you may be going on something difficult in your life, and sometimes you just need a meditation. You can go to our website, unitysf.org, and find a choose your own on-demand meditation. If you are a first-time guest, we are incredibly grateful that you've chosen to spend not just this Sunday morning, but Christmas Eve Sunday morning. And so we want to recognize you, and we're so grateful for you. In your bulletin, there is, if you haven't gotten a bulletin, raise your hand. One of our lovely ushers will bring you one. Within the bulletin, there is a spiritual connection card. And in that spiritual connection card, there's a place to put that you are a first-time guest, so please see myself and one of our ushers for that. If you are online, go ahead and click on the Zoom link that Robbie is dropping in the chat and fill that out. And it's just a way in which you can stay engaged. And no matter how long you've been coming to Unity San Francisco, please fill out that spiritual connection card. Put it to the side, because we're going to return to it later in the service. And now, if you are viewing us on Livestream or YouTube, we are going to have a chance for us to say hi in the room in just a moment. So if you're on YouTube or Livestream, go ahead and go to our website, click on the Zoom room, because we want to connect with you. And now, as the music team is getting in place, stand as you are willing and able for our community song.
Why your joyous hug, a fist bump, a toe tap. Please respect social distancing. Welcome to Unity
This
San
microphone stays
Francisco. Merry Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, solstice,
Everybody
everyone.
online, welcome to our Zoom room. If you're watching on YouTube, I invite you to come over to our Zoom room right now. You can click it on our website. And I need to see, hey, Robbie. Okay, I know you're coming. I know you're coming in. There we are. Now I can see you. Jo Marie, Rosie, Denise, Lawrence. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Carlos. Kate and Mark. Hi, Kathy. Laurie. Wow. Happy holidays, everybody. Mwah. I am so delighted to see you. Hey, Ryan, we need a microphone. Thank you. Who wants to say hi to people online? There's Laurie with his Christmas hat on. Use the microphone. You can talk to him.
How are you?
Merry Christmas, everybody. We love you. We miss you.
Merry Christmas, sweetie. How's your sister?
Hey, Merry Christmas. Nancy, Lori.
Hello. Merry Christmas, guys. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, my online people, my tribe.
Merry Christmas, everybody. It's so good to see you all. Jo Marie, Carlos, Kate, Mark, Rosie, Nancy, Denise, Lori, Kathy. So good to see you all. You're in for a great service.
Happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas. We love you. Hi, Denise. Hi, Lori. Hey, Rosie. Hey, Kate. Hey, Mark. Hey, Valerie. Hi, Kathy. Here's Dean.
Hey everybody, I didn't think I was going to get a chance to say hello. Merry Christmas to all of you. Have a gentle holiday season. I love you all. Thank you for all being here.
We're going to turn our attention back to
Hi,
Reverend Ken on the
everybody.
stage.
Happy holidays. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's great to hear and to feel all the energy and the love and all of the emotions that come with this holiday. So thank you for being here and honoring this day and this practice of coming together in community to celebrate life itself. So we're going to move into a time of meditation. That was joyful. And we're going to go into a meditation that is going to... Oh, we're going to do that first. Sorry. Thank you very much, Ryan. I literally did get off the plane. David, can someone hand me the booklet underneath my phone? Thank you. So, thank you. There you are. You're right behind me. See, I'm in that fog, that brain fog, right? David's going to light the Advent candles, and then we'll take this into meditation. So there's a booklet in front of you, in the seat in front of you. It's called The Sweetest Christmas. It was a meditation for all the Sundays of Advent and the days in between those Sundays, but it also goes through all the way to January 6th, actually, and we go through next is the 12 powers of unity. A teaching about the 12 powers in each and every one of us. But today we're going to read on page 43 from the booklet, if you want to read along. And at home, if you have it, you can pull it out too. It's Saturday, December 23rd's reading. It's yesterday's reading. And as I was sitting with my mother yesterday, this reading was so important. Let us ponder the power of life, which is the cause of every Christmas tree and you and me. Eventually, the harvested and decorated tree will wither and die, but the power that created it lives on. Power energizes life throughout creation. We call this God, our power to live and love. Nothing we have done or will do, fail to do, can lessen the divine as our power of love. In our humanness, we unfold and grow in our understanding of this love, like a tree grows from a seed, slowly and steadily. During the holidays, we may long for love, grieve the loss of love, and strive to grow love. However, one holy instant contemplating the divine is unfailing, unwavering love frees us from our longings. Pain and grievances are shed like needles from a tree. Striving is transformed into beingness as we grow as an instrument of love for all. And from Corinthians, we hear love never ends. Our affirmation for today is, on this day of Advent, I am an unfailing expression of divine love for all. On this day of Advent, I am an unfailing expression of divine love for all. Thank you. With that, I invite you to get comfortable, to let the chair hold you, to let the room envelop you. Our prayer chaplains are holding space for us right here now, too, holding the consciousness of this special night, this special season. And Albert's going to lead us in a song that we all know, but that I invite us to take to a deeper place, a place of knowing and understanding.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child. Holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, shepherds quake at the sight, glory stream from heaven afar. Heavenly hosts sing hallelujah. Christ the Savior is born. Christ the Savior is born.
Christ is born, and we know that that is not something that happens a long time ago, but happens right here and now within us. The Christ consciousness is being born in each and every one of us as we allow it. So I invite you right now to go further into this meditation, further into this silence, the silence of this moment, and know within you, right here and now, there is something new longing to be birthed in the world. Deep within you, there is a wisdom, a love, a caring, compassion, an understanding that is longing to be made manifest in the world. Deep within your soul is the expression, the full expression of who you've come here to be. That perfect, whole self. The answer to the longing of the world. The love that changes everything. The peace that passes all understanding. And it scares us. But today we do not listen to the voice of fear. We do not hesitate to give birth to something greater than we have previously known. To open to the infinite possibility that we are the one that has come here to bring love to the planet. For until we all decide to do that, the peace and the love will always elude us. So today, Christ is born in us, as us, and comes through us in this beautiful, beautiful silence. Right here and right now, in this silence, I invite you to feel the presence of the divine, to know the truth of who you truly are. This holy moment when we remember the truth of who we are, when we remember the wholeness that is our birthright. It is known in many cultures, in many ways, in many faith traditions, and many spiritual practices. But we call it oneness, divine presence, at one-ment, holy moment. So breathe once again and feel the light not shining on you, but shining from you. From the center of your being, the star of Bethlehem is shining, the star that guides everyone through the night. From the center of your being, radiating out from you to all directions, all people, and all places on the planet, is the light that the world so desperately needs. Today, be brave. Today, be whole. And let your light shine.
Silent night, holy night, Son of God, love's pure light, radiant beams from thy holy face, with the dawn of redeeming grace. Jesus, Lord, at thy birth. Jesus, Lord, at thy birth.
Albert Hodge. So we have a special treat for you today. As you come out of meditation and come into the room, we are looking at the spiritual lessons of this holiday season. And in the Judeo-Christian canon of religions alone, there are about 12 different holidays that are celebrated in this season. But when we pan back out to a larger community of spiritual traditions, there are innumerous holidays. We celebrated Diwali, the Hindu tradition of light coming into the world, all of this revolving around solstice and around the beginning of the new year. And we're going to just take a little snapshot of a couple different traditions here. We celebrated Hanukkah a couple Sundays ago, and it's the Festival of Light. And on Thursday was the shortest day of the year for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere. And each day after that, more and more light creeps into the world, to our physical space. And can we use that analogy for us to have an awakening? And every day, as we go forward from here, more and more light, more and more truth, more and more love, more and more peace creeps into our life, so that little by little, we are transformed. For those of you who are like me, I always can set some really amazing goals and do them for about a day or a week. But I know when I allow incremental change into my life, and baby step by baby step, I learn a new skill and a new way of practicing. So I invite us into that in this solstice tradition. And what I'm going to first invite up, though, is someone to talk to us about the metaphysical interpretation of the birth narratives. And he is our own David Montecalvo. David comes from, yeah, you can give him applause. David comes from a traditional faith tradition, a very traditional Christian, and he's been a spiritual seeker for his whole life, right?
Yes.
Or very much so. And when he came to us, he just dove back into the new thought and the unity understanding of the teachings, and he is actually in study to become a licensed teacher or something else. I'll leave that open for right now. We'll see where his studies lead him, and he's going to talk us through the birth narrative. So I give you David Montecalvo.
Thank you. The story of Christmas begins with Mary. For those of you who may not be familiar, Mary was a common, ordinary young girl, presumably a virgin, and she was chosen by God to bring forth Christ into earth. Now, this story of the virgin births is not exclusive to Christianity. There are Egyptian deities and Roman leaders who have said to have been born of virgins. But the idea, the concept is the divine wants to be birthed in humanity. So that sounds great, but what does that mean for today? It means that you and I can bring forth the Christ consciousness, the divine, into our world. And the way that you do that is through, quite simply, but quite challenging, to change your thoughts so that way you can change the world. And in the Unity teachings, there's this concept called the law of mind action, which basically says that when you change your thoughts, you have a similar thought, you have a similar thought, you have a similar thought, until eventually your mind changes, and then your behavior changes, and then your life and your world changes. So what are some of these divine Christ consciousness type thoughts? These are thoughts that lead to kindness, that lead to peace, forgiveness, love, things that we can extend to others, but also very much extend to ourselves. And so, just like in pregnancy, this is incredibly difficult to do this. It's arduous. It's things that are done in private. But yet, when we commit to doing it, we will birth transformation. We will birth change in our lives, in the world around us. Again, this sounds really great, but it is incredibly challenging. I had a situation in my own life a couple weeks ago, and I was with somebody who continued to give me unsolicited criticism. No one here has ever done that, right? No, okay. And it was about an area in my life in which I was incredibly insecure about. And he kept going after me with it. And I left that situation feeling incredibly raw, vulnerable, angry. And then I was incredibly raw, angry, vulnerable at myself for having those kinds of thoughts. I thought to myself, I should be over this by now, right? Right? I work at a church, for crying out loud. I devoted myself to unity teachings. But then I fought through those emotions. I wrestled. I allowed myself to be completely human in what I was feeling with those emotions. And so I wrestled with it for about a weekend, and John, my fiance, was incredibly patient with me as I was just kind of in a frenzy. And as I wrestled with it, though, I came across this concept of radical self-acceptance, where you allow yourself to completely feel what it is that you're feeling in that moment. You're not spiritually bypassing, you're not positive thinking it away. You allow yourself to be. And paradoxically, when I allowed myself to fully feel my emotions, it kind of dissipated. The intensity of it dissipated. And so then I was free to start my meditations, my affirmations, that I was good, that I was worth it, that I was created in the image of God. All of those kinds of things, I was able to do that because I had allowed myself to fully feel. And in that situation, I was able to be both fully human and also fully divine. And so I will leave this with you. How can you bring about your own Christ consciousness into the world in 2023?
David Montecalvo. So there's a story in Scripture of Jesus, right? And you all probably have heard it if you haven't read it or you've heard about it, that when he comes to Jerusalem and he sees all the things in the temple, he turns over the tables and has a fit. He has a fit. So being angry is a spiritual practice, guys. If Jesus could do it, right? If other spiritual leaders can express their anger, it is absolutely a way to release it so that we can bring about the change that we see. And it is a clue to us about our values and what we stand for, right? So what we look at this holiday to be is that consciousness that knows there is only one person, one power, one presence, one way of being in the world, one way of being with each other, that is love. Now, there's lots of different facets of that. There's lots of different ways to be, but there's only one. We are only one extension of divine love in multiple facets. This song that Callie's going to sing talks about that awakening consciousness in us, that truth that changes everything.
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the the thrill of hope. The weary soul rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angels' voices on night divine, oh, night when Christ was born. Oh, night, holy night, oh, night divine. Truly we're taught to love one another. The law is love, and the gospel is peace. Chains shall be broken for honoring each other, and love's name all oppression does cease. Sweet hymns of joy in grateful chorus rise we, sweet hymns of love, live only love's claim. Rise from your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, a night divine, oh, night when Christ was born. Oh, night divine, oh, night divine. That's a song. Oh, night divine.
Callie Carvajal. Whew. Right. So, I've said this before, for those of you who haven't heard it, Jesus wasn't Christian. He was Jewish. He was a Jew living in a Roman, Greco-Roman pagan world, surrounded by Babylonians, by Syrians, by Egyptians, by Romans, by Greeks, in this multicultural world that he lived in. He came and he taught and he demonstrated. 2,000 years ago, we're still trying to figure out what it all means for us, what it means for the world. But in the years that followed him on this earth, many things happen. And one of them was the merging of the teachings of Jesus with the spiritual practices and teachings of paganism. Now, paganism was widespread because it was the religion of the Roman Empire. And everywhere they went, they brought it. So the pagan traditions, which are more earthbound and have to do with more nature and balance and multiple deities, were all incorporated into early Christianity. And today, we practice pagan spiritual practices without knowing it. Right? And so what I wanted us to do, like lighting the Advent wreath, is a pagan ritual about bringing in light and evergreens in to the home, to the hearth, into our consciousness. And to talk to us more about that and what we mean, I give you our own Tyler Kruger.
Good morning, good morning. So we know that beliefs evolve. A lot of times in history, rituals will outlast the beliefs. We end up doing things and we go, why? There's reasons we light a candle, but is there a belief behind it? So beliefs evolve and they should evolve. Sometimes they're taken over in history by certain conquerors, or a new religion might take over certain beliefs. But I just want to say that beliefs evolving is normal and natural. And so when we look back to the time of Stonehenge, way back when we made those stone circles that were all around Northern Europe. Stonehenge is a really famous one. They were celebrating, amongst other things, it was kind of like a solar calendar made out of a circle of rocks. And so one thing that they were studying was the winter solstice, the time of the year when the days are getting shorter. A lot of people would believe that the sun was losing its power. The sun's becoming weaker and weaker as the days become shorter and the nights become longer. And then in the northern hemisphere, it got a lot colder. The trees would lose their leaves. Even to this day, we bring in these evergreens, these things that don't lose their leaves. The juniper and the holly don't lose their leaves, but the other trees did. So imagining, back in Stonehenge, they're waiting for the sunrise to come, and it's cold, but they're staying awake, waiting on what we think of now as December 21st. I don't know if they had a date on it because that was more of a Julian Gregorian calendar that came later, but this was about 2,500 years ago. They're sitting there waiting for the sun to rise between two rocks. If you stood in the right place, on the right day, you would watch the sun rise between these two rocks. And that was a symbol that the days were no longer going to become shorter, but turn the tide, and the days would become longer once again. This was a moment of hope when we could say that the spring would come, that the next season of crops would come, that the livestock would give birth again, that we would turn this season of the year away from this coldness of struggling to survive back into the hope of the light. Today we call it the season of light, but back then, this winter solstice, really realizing that it was the counting of the days until we could have faith again that the light would return to us and we wouldn't be in the darkness. It would again return the season, the clock of the year would continue turning. So that was around 2500 BC, and then we go to 500 BC with Rome. I'm skipping a whole lot, of course, but this is 500 BC. We had Saturnalia and Calends, these two festivals that happened. Saturnalia celebrating the god Saturn, the god of agriculture, and this Saturnalia festival was December 17th through 23rd. There was a lot of feasting, a lot of carnival, a lot of gift giving, which we still do gift giving today. But also Calends was their celebration of the new year for January 1st. So these are some of the roots, 500 BC. Then Julius Caesar, around 45 AD, he makes the Julian calendar, and he decides that it's December 25th is going to be the date of the winter solstice. Now, we think of it as the 21st, because the Julian calendar had some errors in it. in those errors, the date ended up moving. But back then, back in ancient Rome, it was 45 AD. December 25th was winter solstice every year. It was that time when the days would become longer, that the warmth would begin to return, that the hope of the light instead of the struggle of winter. And so this Roman paganism spread all throughout Europe. We also know that Helios was declared to be born, Helios the sun, around 200 AD. On the calendar, it's been noted that Helios was born on December 25th, the same day as the winter solstice. Again, the turning of that dial from the darkness to when the sun is regaining its strength is when the sun is born again each year. And then we also have the temple that was dedicated on December 25th, 274 AD. It's a temple to the Sol Invictus, Sol being sun, Invictus being invincible. So again, December 25th, we have all of these things that were happening back in Rome. Now, interesting, in the early Christian church, they were really focused and celebrating the death and the resurrection, the moment when this person who was crucified was then resurrected. What a miracle. So the early church was really focused on this death and resurrection thing. But then the Gnostics around the 4th century, they began to theorize that Jesus was not a physical man, it was a spirit body person. Jesus, the spirit body, the Gnostics said. So that makes it a lot easier to say, oh yeah, they crucified a spirit person, and the spirit person then resurrected later. So what did the church do? They began to say, oh, no, don't say that it was a spirit man. Say that it was a physical man. So they began to say that the birth, coming through a physical womb, became more important around the 4th century. It wasn't as important before this. So then, the first calendar is in 354 AD that actually lists out different pagan holidays, but also lists December 25th as the birth of Jesus Christ. The first year was 354 AD. It wasn't an early belief, but it was a belief that became important later. So all of this, I want to say that we still perform this hope for the light, the hope for the winter to ebb away, for spring to come again, the hope for the new children or the new livestock to be born, the hope for the next season of the harvest to feed us again, the hope to come out of the coldness and the darkness, this celebration of the light. And so I invite you this holiday season to consider the birth of the sun, the season of the light, and also the birth of the Son of God within us, the season of light, this holiday season. Thank you.
When my husband and I, JD, traveled to Rome about 16 years ago, we got to go underneath St. Peter's Basilica. It was literally built on top of a pagan necropolis, a cemetery, and they've now excavated it, and you can go in it. In one of the tombs, there is a painting of Apollo's chariot driven by horses riding across, and Apollo, in the pagan tradition, brought the sun into the world. But in this drawing, there is not Apollo in the chariot, it's Jesus in the chariot. And the mixing of the two religions becoming one was happening in the early centuries of this new millennia. So I bring this up because all of this doesn't matter unless it is in our lives, unless we incorporate these spiritual teachings and these traditions and consciously choose to use them. Right? Because a lot of people will say Merry Christmas, a lot of people will celebrate the holidays and exclude people. Exclude people that they don't like, exclude people that they believe has harmed them, have done them wrong. And what this holiday is about is the birth of our own light, our own power, our own love, so that we can transcend anything that has happened to us. And understand that that happening is for us to demonstrate love, to demonstrate peace, to demonstrate the power of our eternal soul. It makes no difference what happens on the outside. Everything is what happens on the inside. And in that tradition, what we're going to talk about next is that in this last 50, 100 years, a tradition has emerged from people of African descent that shows how we can incorporate spiritual teachings from our ancestors and create a holiday of meaning for ourselves in our lives right now. And that power and that presence transcends anything that has happened to us when we claim our power and strength and demonstrate what is happening through us. I give you me some alone.
Good morning, Unity family. Make sure they check the mic. I always sing. Now I'm talking. So I'm here to speak with you about Kwanzaa. So for me, Kwanzaa, as a child, Kwanzaa was the day I got extra presents. So in my house, we had a tree. We put it up on the 15th of December. I would have presents on Christmas Day under the tree. But on January 1st, I would have to find the presents my mother had hidden in the tree for Kwanzaa. It wasn't until I was in high school, I was voted most likely to overthrow the government. I was a very militant child. But it wasn't until I was in high school that I actually found out what Kwanzaa really was. Because as that kid, it was, ooh, presents. And generally, Christmas Day was a lot of presents. Kwanzaa would generally be 2, maybe 1, very nice, somewhat expensive, very personal gift. We're talking lots of thought, lots of intent went into these gifts that I would then have to find in the tree. So Kwanzaa was created in the 60s for descendants of the African diaspora. For those of you who were here when I talked on Black History Month, we know that the descendants of the African diaspora have gone everywhere, right? The whole world. Africans were transported against their will to all kinds of countries. But this particular country had probably the worst experience for those peoples. And in the 60s, and the 60s is a really pivotal time, right? There was a lot of awakening, a lot of rebirth. It was almost a Renaissance period to a certain degree. A gentleman decided, you know what? We need our own holiday. We need our own thing. And what he did is he created Kwanzaa. It was manufactured. Now, Kwanzaa is from December 26th through January 1st. It is a 7-day period. Now, Ngusu Saba, those are the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. December 26th is day 1. January 1 is day 7. Every single day has a different focus. December 26th is Umoja. Umoja is Swahili. All of these words are Swahili. Okay, just put that out there. Umoja means unity. It's a day where the family and the community come together and work towards furthering unity and unification. December 27th is Kujichagulia, which is self-determination. It's a day that you take for yourself to define how you want to be. You name yourself. You create yourself. You speak for yourself. December 28th is Ujima, collective work and responsibility. This is a day where the community comes together and they say, okay, we need to build our community. How can we make our community great? No one should be suffering. No one should be struggling. Everyone should have enough. How do we make that happen? Which takes us to December 29th, which is Ujamaa, cooperative economics. Now, there's a lot of cultures in this country, a lot of immigrants in this country who are excellent examples of cooperative economics. Unfortunately, children of the African diaspora, probably not that one. But basically what it means is rotating your money in your communities. You bring money from outside, from your businesses and your jobs, and you spend it where you can sow seeds in your community to build on the collective work, to build on everything that comes before. December 30th actually takes us to purpose, which is Nia. What can we do as a collective to build and develop our community further? Again, always with the unification. Always with us moving together in community as a unit, as a unified organism to better the experience of everyone involved. And then December 31st, creativity. Let's think outside the box. Okay, so we know what we know, but what don't we know? How can we expand? How can we, I don't know, get creative, be inspired, be innovative, iterate. And then finally, January 1st is Imani. Imani is faith. You have done 6 days of work, and now you have the faith that you will believe with your heart and your mind and carry that through until next year. That's Ngusu Saba. That is Kwanzaa. And on Imani, they do exchange gifts. However, they're handmade. They are gifts from the heart. They're gifts that you have made and created with your own hands with very special purpose and intention for the person that you're giving the gift to. Because that is also a part of Ngusu Saba. What is mine is yours. What is yours is mine, because it is all ours. Is that not a unity principle? For those of you who are new, I'm sorry. My name is Misa Malone. I am your minister of music. I have a tendency to minister when the minister don't necessarily want me to. But I will say, in unity, for those of you who are new, we have 5 principles, but honestly, I believe it's been stated, if you only believe in the first principle, you don't need the other 4. We believe that there is one power and one presence active in the universe and in your lives at all times, God. One power, one presence, God. That we are all a part of a larger whole, that we are all connected metaphysically, energetically, synergistically, metaphysically. I think I said that already. On a cellular, on a molecular, on an atomic level. So looking at Kwanzaa from a unity perspective, the world is our community. The world. This community. You are my community. San Francisco is my community. California. Let's just keep going, right? So I should be using umoja, kuji, chagulia, ujima, ujamaa, nia, kuumba, and imani every single day for every single one of you. Those are the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. Funny story, Kwanzaa, Kwanzaa. So the gentleman who created Kwanzaa, he's like, I'm going to call it Kwanzaa. And I think it was either his daughter or his granddaughter, she had a favorite number. Her favorite number was 7. So he decided, okay, we're going to make Kwanzaa have 7 letters because 7 is her favorite number. And that's why it's Kwanzaa, to honor her, because she is the newer generation. And by giving her a personal connection, he's guaranteeing buy-in. He's guaranteeing that not only will she honor it, she has a personal connection to it. So we have, similar to all the Christian and pagan faiths, there's also light involved in Kwanzaa observances. This is called the kinara. And there are 7 candles. 3 are green, 3 are red, and 1 is black. For those of you who understand African history, red, black, green, red, black, gold, and green are typically interchangeable colors in that culture. The red stands for the blood that is spilled. The green stands for the land, the mother who nurtures and sustains us. And the black stands for the people. Now, Kwanzaa does not have any carols. But also, I believe, I forget the date, but way back, there was a movement to go back to Africa. Some of the descendants of the African diaspora in the United States decided we're going back to Africa. And they went to Liberia. It was an exodus. And they have an anthem. It's a combination of 4 languages. It's Watusi, Igbo, Zulu, and one other. And I'm going to light the kinara and sing Nkosi Sikelele for you. As soon as I find out what Ken did with the lighter. There we go. Nkosi sikelele Afrika, malopongondi supondo hayo, zizwa imitondo zo yetu. Nkosi sikelela tina lo sahoayo, Samoya, Samoya, Samoya. Oh, Samoya, oh, yink, huele, inkosi, sikelele, tina lo sahoayo. Ashe.
Miss Misa Malone. Okay, this is going to drive me crazy if this one isn't lit, so. And I know there's others out there that was going to drive that crazy too, so I'll do this for you. There we go. Now we can rest. We are unapologetically inclusive. And we also understand that we could not possibly touch all the different faiths and traditions that all of you bring to this. But what we hope by this service today that has opened and become possible for you is to embrace your own spiritual journey to this one shared place of this understanding that today is about the birth of the good, the divine in you. Today is about how we open to the infinite possibilities of this moment, this planet, and create together. Christ is the English word for Christos in Greek, because the scriptures were written in Greek, and in Hebrew, Christos is Messiach, which means the anointed one. So consider yourselves anointed. You have been brought to this moment, and you are the anointed one to make this happen. That this moment is yours to step into, whether it be in a Jewish tradition, in a Kwanzaa tradition, in an African diaspora tradition, in a pagan tradition, in no tradition whatsoever, a secular humanist tradition, a Christian tradition, a New Thought tradition. They are all aspects and facets of the one light, the one presence here on earth. And we come together today to say thank you for the light. Thank you for the infinite possibility. Thank you for this opportunity to remember the truth, to live as the truth on this planet, and to create something new. A world that works for everyone, no exceptions, no exclusions. A world that we all long for. We see is possible, and we make it so with every step we take, with every word we speak, and with every breath. The preciousness of breath. As I stand here today, I know my mother is getting closer and closer to her last breath. But I also know that she does not go away. She just leaves this body. And for that truth, for each and every one of you's light and love, breath and wholeness, I am truly grateful and truly in awe. Namaste.
Wow, what a beautiful message of living unity teachings in action, Reverend Ken. Earlier, we mentioned the spiritual connection card, which if you're in the room, it's in your paper bulletin, and if you're online, there is a link in the chat. And this is the time in the service where you can reflect on all of the things that we've said and use it to apply it for the days ahead of you. So as I read these, think which of these resonate most with you. The first is, notice where I am resistant to life's events, the changes in life, the difficulties in life, the joys in life. The next is to bring joy to the celebration of life. May we all be able to find something to celebrate in this season. The third is to expect miracles every day. Expect the unexpected, because you'll find it. Finally, be the Christ presence. Bring it out into the world. The world needs you to bring the Christ presence. So what resonates most with you? Unity San Francisco is a vibrant, thriving community. And it's only that way because people have given of their time, volunteering of their talent, and offering their treasure, their money. And so there are always ways in which there's opportunities to give. One of which right now, a particular need that we have is our welcome team. And because you can see that there is a almost full house, and there is a number of people who are viewing us online who also visit us in person as well. So we need volunteers to welcome that group to everybody here. So please see me after the service. We're going to also be holding a training soon too, TBD. So yes, please offer that. The next is that for 2024, if you're in the room, there is a tall sheet that's in front of you, and if you're online, check our website. There's a link for this. Our 2024 Promise Program. The Promise Program is a pledge program where it helps us plan our finances for the year, and it's a way in which we can know how we can bring this amazing programming that we have. So please pledge and offer that and drop it in the envelope. And now is the time for our offering. And so as the ushers are getting into place, there are a number of ways in which you can give. You can give online through our website. You can scan the QR code. You can drop cash in the envelopes in front of you, a check. So please, anything that you're able to give, we're incredibly grateful. And so to anchor that, the offering, we have an affirmation. And I'll say it once. I give with abundant love and joy. As I give, I receive. Let's know this together. I give with abundant love and joy. As I give, I receive. So it is. We have an offering chant.
So as Ken said earlier, love is what makes the world go round. We introduced this affirmation, this chant last week. Hopefully you'll remember it. Remember, it's love, comfort when you've lost your center, stand and affirm in love. All right, here we go. Love, comfort when you've lost your center, stand and affirm in love. Love's always the answer. Love shines a light no dark can enter. Believe and receive in love. Love's always the answer. Love, comfort when you've lost your center, stand and affirm in love. Love's always the answer. Love shines a light no dark can enter. Believe and receive in love. Love's always the answer. Love, comfort when you've lost your center, stand and affirm in love. Love's always the answer. Love shines a light no dark can enter. Believe and receive in love. Love's always the answer. Love.
Love is always the answer. All right, stand still for a minute. Okay, come on up. So we have a children's program downstairs. Danielle was leading it today. Hey, and there's some more kids downstairs. Sam, here comes Sam. You want to come up with us? And I think Joshua's on his way up too. So we'll see if he makes it. But we have a blessing for these kids and for all the world's children, not just the ones we have here, but all the world's children in Israel, in Palestine, in Ukraine, in Russia, in all the spots around the world where we could use some more of that love, right? And we have an affirmation for all of these children and for you, your inner child. If you didn't hear this as a kid, I want you to hear as I say it to you right now. You are God's perfect expression of divine life. I see you and I love you exactly the way you are. Yes. So can we hold up our hands and say that to these kids and the world's kids, all the kids we hold in our hearts? You are God's perfect expression of divine life. We see you and we love you exactly the way you are. Yoo-hoo! All right. Come on, kids. Let's go back downstairs.
So it is. We have lots going on to celebrate the new year, one of which is next Sunday. It's our Burning Bowl service ceremony. This is a beautiful way, if you've not been here for this, we will have pieces of paper and you can physically write down things that you want to release, and then we'll have a time in which you can, we'll have a safe burn bowl and throw the things that you want to release to make way for the new year and wonderful intentions. We are really excited because we have Lynn Twist, who will be coming and speaking. Do you want to say something? Oh.
Many people have read The Soul of Money and know Lynn Twist, right? She also started the Pachamama Alliance, which is about saving the rainforest and the indigenous peoples of the world. I just did a 5-day retreat with Lynn down in Mexico, and she is a powerhouse. She is a change agent. She is here to create a world that works for everyone. She's also just an amazing human being. So if you don't have anything planned, or if you do have anything planned, I invite you to reschedule it and plan to be here on the 21st to listen to Lynn in person, who's going to come grace us with her experience and wisdom. Right?
She is, I actually was doing some research on her, and she is one of the top 50 keynote speakers in the world.
Yes.
So there's that, sharing the stage.
Right,
so,
she has several TED Talks out there,
yeah.
And she is really a powerhouse, so I can't
I'm
wait
excited
to have it.
to meet her. So then January 27th, we have a spiritual direction group, and this is a new cohort, and so it's led by Reverend Elizabeth, and then our friend Emmy, who is in Michigan, and this is completely virtual. Please sign up. There is a limited space for this, so you'll have to apply for it, but as someone who I just graduated that, it is amazing and a great way to listen deeper into spirit.
All right, so we have spiritual support groups, spiritual connection groups that happen. They're in your bulletin. They're on our website. Check us out online. Come and join us. They all happen once a month. The first one that's coming up is on December 28th. The Transmasculine Spiritual Connection Group will be happening, and Spiritually Feminine on January 9th. Okay, but follow up more with that. Thank you to everybody who made today's service possible. It takes a village to put this together. Everything from our incredible hospitality. For those of you who don't know, we have a whole meal waiting for you downstairs. So please stay. If you're in the room and online, there'll be a spiritual connection group. Thank you to our ushers and greeters. And first off, can we give a big thank you to our incredible music team, our band, choir, singers. Woo! They are going to take us out. I invite you to stand as you're willing and able, to sing along at home, sing along in the room, as we do our Christmas melody.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, Navidad, Navidad, oh yes, Navidad. Es un día de alegría y felicidad. Navidad, Navidad, oh yes, Navidad. Es un día de alegría y felicidad. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Here we go. All out the holly, put up the tree before my spirit falls again. Fill up the stocking, I may be rushing things, but deck the halls again now. For we need a little Christmas right this very minute. Candles in the window, carols in the spirit. Yes, we need a little Christmas right this very minute. It hasn't snowed a single flurry, but Santa dear, we're in a hurry. So climb down the chimney, turn on the brightest string of lights I've ever seen. Slice up the fruitcake, it's time we hung some tinsel on the evergreen bough. For I've grown a little leaner, grown a little colder, grown a little bolder, grown a little older, and I need a little angel sitting on my shoulder. I need a little Christmas now. For we need a little music, need a little laughter, need a little singing, ringing through the rafters, and we need a little snappy, happy ever after. We need a little Christmas now. We need a little Christmas now.
So we have one more song to sing, but before we do, I want to give thanks to David, to Tyler, and to Misa. Right? Woo! And these are our spiritual practices. I'm going to say them once, and I invite you to affirm them after me. I notice where I am resistant to change. I bring joy to the celebration of life.
I bring joy to the celebration of life.
I expect miracles every day.
I expect miracles every day.
I am the Christ presence.
I am the Christ presence.
And so it is.
And so it is.
And now, the last song.
To the top. 2, 3. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. Joy to the world, the Savior reigns. Let men their songs employ. While fields and floods, rocks, hills and plains, repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy, repeat, repeat the sounding joy. She rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations rule. The glories of her righteousness, and wonders of her love, and wonders of her love, and wonders of her love. We rule the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of our righteousness, and wonders of our love, and wonders of our love, and wonders, wonders of our love.
Happy holidays, everyone. Woo! See you downstairs.